Hello, my lovelies. Hello, my beautiful souls. Today, I'm just gonna do a blog, or a vlog. Usually, I love being the one to give everybody, advice and help people out and stuff. But Holy Spirit told me recently that I've been avoiding some of my own healing work because of that. And not necessarily... Okay, let me just start over. So, like a lot of you, I've gone through a lot of hard things in life, and I always tried to be the strong one. I try not to let my emotions get the best of me, which unfortunately they did most of the time. But as a child, I was taught my voice didn't matter. My dad used to always say, children should be seen and not heard, and women should be seen and not heard. And anytime I had any kind of emotional reaction, I would get punished for it. As a child, I'd get, put in a corner or spanked or grounded, usually yelled at, and either that or put in a corner or made fun of. As I grew older, it would be like people making fun of me for my emotions, or they'd be like, oh, is it that time of the month again? Or like, and then as I grew older and I really did have mental health issues, which is nothing to be ashamed of. Everybody has them. The thing to be ashamed of is having them and refusing to get help, refusing to admit that you have a problem. There are so many people, and that's what's I'm noticing is happening with me, where certain people are falling out of my life or certain people are turning on me. They have mental health issues that they're not ready to face yet. And that's okay. Sometimes we're not ready to face it. But it doesn't mean that it's okay. It's definitely not okay for people to project onto you or to make you feel like crap for getting help. But anyway, I digress. So as I got older and I was open about my mental health journey, then I had a lot of traumatic things happen, and I had PTSD and things would trigger me. And when your fight or flight reflex is triggered, really it's not your fault. Like somebody did something, there was something that happened, there was an antecedent, and then the behavior of you snapping or going kind of crazy or something, like yelling or whatever, or crying, or just all of that is due to the hormones going through your body right at that moment. You can't control that part. But my family would use that against me. So even to this day, my dad, anytime I show emotion, my dad's like, oh, she's getting manic. Oh, she's in a mood. Oh, you can't deal with her when she's like this. And that's so incredibly damaging. It's so dismissive. It teaches me that my feelings are invalid. And then that leads me to a cycle of toxic positivity and trying to pretend I'm happy and I'm okay when I'm not. The last year was really, really hard for me. And I had a lot of little things go wrong all at once. And then most of them I've gotten over and I've gotten help for. But right now I don't. Oh, the reason why I'm doing this video right now is because I don't have a good support system at the moment. Most people have a friend they can vent to or a therapist. Right now I don't have insurance. So I do have a psychiatrist to get my medication from, but that's expensive as hell. And the medication's expensive as hell, but I don't have the money to get a therapist at the moment. But then again, the last few therapists I had really disappointed me. They weren't trained in complex trauma. And I ended up feeling worse about myself. Well, and then honestly, I guess in the long run, it caused me to have a little more self-confidence, because I realized I don't really need a therapist at the moment. I have a lot of skills under my belt. I have a lot of tools and knowledge and resources. There's so many resources out there, so many free resources. So I've been doing lots of self-help and YouTube videos and self-hypnosis and all these things, and I've achieved and overcome so much, and I'm so grateful for that. But it still doesn't change the fact that I don't have someone to go to talk about these things. Okay, I'm gonna be really vulnerable here, which is so hard because, like, normally I am totally vulnerable and authentic, but then again, when you're trying to be a self-help like leader, or you're trying to run a business, you're supposed to project this image like you got it all together. And in some areas of my life I do, mainly because of how much I've overcome, but there's still some areas that I need help with. And everybody needs someone to lean on. Everyone needs a support system, a good friend to talk to things over with. And when my last boyfriend cheated on me in November and then kicked me out of the house in December, I lost so many things. I lost, my boyfriend. I lost my home. I had to move 4 hours away from my son, so I'm missing out on my son's senior year of high school and just all the little milestones and all the little things. But one of the hardest parts, on top of all of those are hard enough, but I lost my best friend. My last boyfriend was my total best friend, and I've lost so many friends over the years, so many best friends or close friends. Like, things would happen, and I guess it's true, some people are only in your life for, some people are in your life for a reason, some for a season, some for a lifetime. But I don't have anybody I feel like I can really, really open up to that's going to be validating and okay. Like, a couple people told me that they would be safe for me to open up to, but when I told them what was going on with me, they couldn't handle it. It was too much for them. And that's totally valid. But it still leaves me like, shit, I'm talking to God, I'm talking to my angels and my spirit guides and ancestors, I'm journaling. But even actually journaling has been really hard for me lately because I feel like I'm not being seen, I'm not being heard. It's just me talking to myself, and it feels lonely. It feels alienating. And I know so many other people feel like this. So that's why I've been called to share this vlog right now. I felt myself getting into like a pity party today. And then I tried to push myself out of it. And then I realized, wait a minute. It's okay to have a pity party once in a while. Because you can't just ignore your feelings. Your feelings are your feelings for a reason. I have been through a lot of really hard shit, and I haven't really complained about it much. All I do is try and make other people happy, and I don't look out for myself. I just feel really lonely at times without my best friend. And I'm trying to make new friendships, but I'm at a weird point in life. I don't have a car right now, and I live a 4-hour car ride away from my son. I live with my controlling parents, who they let me use their car once in a while for work, but it's a hassle. Okay, anyway, I don't want to. Okay. So, I just needed to vent for a minute. So thank you for letting me vent. And I'm doing this to show you guys that it's okay if you feel needy. It's okay if you feel clingy. It's okay if you feel sad. It's okay to feel not okay. And talk to somebody about it. Sometimes, people, I think what's happening is a lot of times people that I'm trying to talk to and to vent to about stuff, they want to fix the problem and not just let me talk and, we need to talk it out sometimes. I was just watching Jane the Virgin because that always makes me laugh and it always inspires me, and I really want to get back to writing my romance novel, but it's really hard to write a romance novel when you're heartbroken. I feel like the past 5 months, everything I've written is so depressing and desperate and sad and stupid, and plus I don't want to, part of me doesn't really want to write about the good times that we had together because he doesn't deserve that for the way he treated me. He's chose somebody else over me. Why should I put him on a pedestal? But then when I look back at my old writing, I did that. I put the other person on a pedestal, and it made me really, really happy though, to help me get closure and move on. Anyway, going back to Jane the Virgin. So yeah, I'm trying to get inspiration to write. And Jane, what was I talking about? Damn it, I don't remember. Oh, okay, Jane and Michael and... Oh, the talking about the thing. Okay, yes. So, spoiler alert, if you've never seen Jane the Virgin, she loses somebody that's close to her. Somebody she loves dies. And somebody gave her a piece of advice that, like, when you can talk about it without crying, that's when you know you're really over it. And so I thought about that, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not over this breakup and everything and all these other things, these traumatic events that happened in my life, because I haven't been talking about it. I've been just writing it down in my journal or writing it down for the next book that I want to write, but I haven't actually been using my voice to get my thoughts and feelings out there, and maybe that's what's holding me back. And when I try to do it, like right now on this channel, I have been crying a little, and it reminded me of when, and I think they were right with that piece of advice. You have to keep talking about it until you don't cry anymore, because this was back in 2002. So yeah, in 2002, I got married and had my first child, but she died in my arms within an hour of being born. She was premature, and I felt her body grow cold in my arms and everything, and it took me a long time to be able to say that without crying. It took about 14 years, about 14 years for me to stop crying when I said that. And there's a certain song by Jimmy Eat World called Hear You Me, and that song, holy Jesus, whew, that was the song that I used to always dedicate to her. I was obsessed with it when this happened, and then like every year for her birthday I would sing that song to her. And there's a line that goes, if I could be with you just one more night, I'd sing a song to you just one more time, a song for a heart so big God wouldn't let it live. And that song, like that line especially, the tears just burst out every single time. So I don't know who needed to hear that, but maybe you do need to cry over whatever it is that you're holding in. Sometimes we get on this spiritual journey and we're moving up, but then something keeps holding us back and we don't know what it is. So it's good to examine those things and see what's really holding us back. Maybe you need to grieve. I was never taught how to grieve. I was always taught, just be a trooper, be strong. You're a strong woman, you're a strong person, keep going. And I was never taught how to grieve. So I guess talking about this is my way of grieving for now. Anyway, I'm gonna try and put my happy face on now, get out of this sadness. Fuck it, you know what? I might let myself cry it out. I might go put on a song, that sad song, and cry it out. And then maybe I won't feel so sad afterwards. Okay, here's hoping. I love you all, and thank you for listening. And if you have any words of advice or just words of encouragement or love, I would really appreciate it. Even just a little heart in the comments to know that I'm not alone, that I know I don't need validation from anyone, but it feels really good to have validation about your feelings when you're always told that you're too much, when you're always told that your feelings don't matter, or your feelings are too much or invalid. But we feel what we feel, and that's the truth. Okay, I love you all. God bless you. Bye-bye.